My question is for both Mr. Blackwell and Mr. Tesler. Both you gentlemen have talked about the police department and the turnover. What's the turnover of Coal City and Wilmington in comparison with Braidwood? And how many members do they have on their department? And what type of a crime rate do they have versus Braidwood?
To answer your question honestly, I do not know their turnover rate as much as ours, Coal City or Wilmington's. I know that our crime, the stats that I get through Westcom, who is our company we use for dispatching, our numbers are upwards in comparison to Plainfield, Shorewood, Crest Hill, those towns that significantly have more citizens than we do. I know this area, Braidwood, I think we had about 9,500 calls this year, which is considerably more than Peatone, Elwood, Wilmington. Coal City's numbers I did not have on hand because they are not part of Westcom. Jamie might know their numbers, I do not know. But I know that, you know, the turnover is an evolving thing. And we're actually gonna have more turnover because we are getting police officers that are getting closer to retirement. So, which is a good turnover to have, you know, you want that turnover. And to be prepared for that turnover, you have to have people in place. And you want young people in place. You want 20 to 30-year-old men and women in place to learn from these older officers. So there's gonna be a period of time where that price is gonna be a little higher, for the simple fact is the older officers are not retired yet, and you're adding a new salary to the budget.
I'm about with Eric. Sir, I appreciate the question because it's very important. I dropped the ball on you. I should have researched that. What I was maintaining and researching is their budget, their officers, and how they maintain their department and what it's costing, because what I'm trying to do here is get our budget down, trying to save some money, and do it in a unique way. And you know, I don't know their crime over there, but that's a good question, and I will find that out. And I will find out their officer turnover on also. And I will find out also how many calls they have. So I will do a comparison for you. Very good question. But I can promise you this, that we're gonna live and be our means, every taxpayers. We have to. We have to. If we want to bring business in here and everything else, we can't be dead broke. We need to get above water. And it seems like a lot of this department gets a lot of the money. And I understand we got to have a good police department. Don't get me wrong. We do have one of the best. It's just that I don't think the finances are done creatively enough to save us money. I'm a taxpayer too, and I'm very concerned. So I promise you this, I'll find them answers for you, sir. And we will do a comparison, because that's a very good question. Thank you.
Anybody else? Any other open questions?
I can yell.
Okay. Who's your question
Quiet
for?
back there. We understand the state budget came out recently, and it looks like it's cutting funds from most municipalities. Have you folks heard the impact and what it might be on us here in this area?
Another great question. Very good question. I went over to Diamond. Can I go off the topic just a little bit to explain what I did? I went over to Diamond to FOIA to see if we could see the incentives and revenues we're getting off Easy Living. But when I went over there on that question, the lady talked to me and said, "Are you preparing for what's coming?" And I said, And can you emphasize, can you explain what you're asking? And she said, well, our new governor that's in is doing cuts. Are we preparing for that? Because Diamond told me they just lost $150,000. It's gonna be a big impact on them right now. And that's the other thing about doing this budget and everything, everybody, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. They're gonna hit us. I mean, the whole state, he is really doing some cuts and so on and so forth. And it's gonna be hard to stop it. And we gotta consider that. We have to consider that, have a little kufa sitting over here in case he drops this program or this grant or whatever we thought we were getting. But yeah, that's a good question. I think that we all should, in every department, should be prepared for what's coming, because it will be coming. Thank you.
The governor has proposed approximately $300,000 cut in our budget. That's about 5% of our budget.
That's what I wanted to hear.
It's proposed, number one. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen or isn't gonna happen. However, we try to prepare for it. I will be meeting within the next week with my representative, John Anthony, and we're discussing, because the main reason I asked to speak to John Anthony instead of Sue Resident is John Anthony is or was a police officer. He will understand what I'm going to explain to him is that I believe, and I may get an argument from other people up here, but I believe that we cannot cut down the number of officers we have and do